All right, all right, all right. Welcome in, everybody. I'm just going to let people come into the building. Let's let people come into the building and show up on this beautiful live. Make sure I'm looking. All right. All righty, all righty, all righty. Hello, hello, hello. What's up, Michaela? What's up, Hey Kay? What's up, Alma, Kiera, Pinky, Christina? Is it Toby? I hope I said your name right. Is it Toby? Nova. Oh, that's my girl though. What's up, beautiful? Mira, Raven. Oh, thank you, love. Thank you. You said I love the hair on you. This hair on you. I feel so masculine because of my Taurus energy. That's interesting because actually Taurus energy is a feminine sign. Taurus is a feminine sign. Yes, that's Venus energy. That's a Venus ruled planet. But yeah, guys, I just wanted to come in here and discuss this topic of masculinity and really talking about masculinity from a different perspective than we often hear about. I posted 2 videos recently. I posted one talking about talking about how you can be overly masculine, right? And how being overly masculine takes away from your femininity. But I also made a video talking about how you can be too feminine. And I was looking at the comments, and there was a couple comments that I wanted to really reply to through a video and just talk about, because I realized that a lot of us have a negative connotation with masculine energy. We think that masculine energy, even as like in the feminine community, is a bad thing, when masculine energy is also necessary to be able to protect our feminine energy. So, and also from another level, we look at masculine energy almost like it's automatically toxic. Like we think that masculinity is toxic within itself on a deeper level, when that's also not true. We need masculine energy. There's a yin and a yang to every single thing and situation and being. Everything in existence has a yin and a yang balance. So you have to have a little bit of masculine energy, because without the masculine energy, you miss out on your container. Because, like, for example, you can try to be somebody who wants to be extremely wealthy, and you can tap into your femininity, and you can, like, upgrade your feminine energy, get into that energy of multiplication, fertility. You are calling the wealth in, you're letting it flow, you're letting it build, and you're really in that wealthy, high value state of mind. Okay, but then what about taking that money, stacking it, and building it and being able to retain it? This is the type of person who is super, super feminine, but does not have a little bit of masculine energy, where you're going to be attracting all this massive wealth. And then when you look at the end of the month, you have nothing to show for it because you spent all your money. The masculine energy and principle is the archetype of being able to contain, hold, protect you, your assets, and your wealth. The masculine energy is designed to help protect your femininity. And obviously, especially if you're a single woman, a lot of the times you are going to have to tap into a little portion of your masculinity to be able to exist in your feminine. But that's not meaning you got to be a man and X, Y, and Z. There's nothing wrong with masculine energy, because masculine energy also is standards. You got to have standards. You got to have boundaries. You got to know what you are available for and what you're not available for, because if you don't have standards, you don't have boundaries, you're going to end up in situations where you're going to just be available to anything and everything. Everybody's going to have access to you. Everybody's going to ask you for money and for your time and for your body. And you're not going to know when to say no. You're not going to know when to stand up for yourself. And you're going to just give everybody access to you. And if everybody has access to you, then you're cheap. And we're not cheap. As a divine feminine, by nature, we are literally the beings who represent that high value energy. Even from that, that level of like the biological level, the physiological level. Men, produce sperm left and right. They just got an endless source of sperm. Women have a select few number of eggs. So when you have less of something, it becomes more valuable. And as women, we are that valuable source. But when it comes to things that are valuable, you must protect it. And that is the masculine principle, being able to protect you. And now you can do this within yourself by having standards, knowing your boundaries because you know your worth. But also, men, there is nothing wrong with having masculine men in your life and being in relationships with masculine men. I've seen this a lot where people have experienced, well, I'll just say this. As a collective of women, we have gone through a lot of trauma, and a huge portion of that trauma has to do with men. Back in the day, we had a lot of abusive situations with men. We didn't have our rights and stuff of that nature. So we have this underlying trauma where we've experienced a lot of rape, a lot of sexual assault, and the feminine has not been respected in the way that it should for a lot of different ways and perspectives. So we have this underlying trauma. It's the girl who's in a relationship. It's the girl who used to attract negative relationships again and again. So she got with a person who cheated on her. She got with a person who did not respect her. So now she gets to this place within her where she's afraid of men. Instead of understanding that she just was with the wrong person because she didn't know how to properly vet, she decides in her subconscious that all men are bad, all men are evil, everything associated with masculinity is negative, it's toxic, it's controlling, it's terrible, we have to be afraid of it. But as a matter of fact, when you actually have a good relationship with divine masculine men help you amplify your own femininity. Divine masculine men amplify your own divine femininity. But when you find yourself the reason why a lot of people are afraid of masculinity is because you just did not choose properly. But it's not a man issue. It's not a masculinity issue. That is a vetting issue, a standard issue. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? So I really want you guys to get to a point where you're able to start knowing, okay, what are my boundaries? What is my standard? What am I here for? And what am I not here for? Clearly, so that you can go within this world in your femininity, open, magnetic, and attractive, so that you can walk around and be in alignment with the right people. Because a lot of us got taught some messages around masculinity as masculinity is bad. For example, as you see the title of this video, Let the Man Lead. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. When we talk about letting men lead, a lot of people get triggered. A lot of people feel some type of way about this statement. How do you guys feel when I say, let the man lead? How do you truly, honestly feel when I say, let the man lead? Comment that. Once I started experiencing healthy masculinity from men, I realized that masculinity is not bad like society makes it seem. It depends on the spectrum of masculinity that you're on. Exactly, literally. It's healthy masculinity. When you experience healthy masculinity, you literally are able to understand, like, it's not masculinity is not bad. Because if you have the underlying belief that masculine energy is bad and that men are bad and that they're untrustworthy, that they're unloyal, that they're controlling, if you have that belief within you, what do you think that you're going to attract? You're going to find yourself attracting the same thing. You can't say consciously, I want a loving, healthy relationship with a man who takes care of me, is loyal, but on the subconscious level, you're thinking all men are trash. You're not going to be able to manifest it. You're not a match to that. Every single aspect of you needs to be alignment with the outcome that you're seeking. Okay? Untrustworthy. How do you feel about a little abuse? Absolutely not. If you're in an abusive situation of any kind, no. That's not a man in his masculinity. That is a man in his toxic masculinity. A man in his divine, in his not divine feminine, a man in his divine masculine energy is always going to want to protect you. You see, when you're in a situation, when you're in an abusive situation, it's because he is insecure within himself. And he feels like the only way to have access to you is to be abusive. He's not really truly secure within himself, because if he was truly secure in himself, he wouldn't have to abuse you. He wouldn't have to be toxic to have you wrapped around his finger. He wouldn't have to do anything. He would not have to hurt you, because you're naturally going to open up to him in his energy. But if he has to force it, he's not in his energy. So leave that situation. Don't accept any abuse. You got to understand, you will only continue to keep on receiving what it is that you tell the universe that you are open and accepting of. And the universe will know what you are open and accepting of based off of the behavior that you constantly allow people to do and to treat you in your life. Okay? No one is deserving of abuse or anything. You are a goddess. You are sacred. You are art. You are a treasure. It is supposed to be respected and nurtured and protected. Okay? What is divine masculine man? What they look like? What that look like? What's up, Addie? No, but I would say a healthy divine masculine man is a protector. I think a healthy divine masculine man is somebody who is he's a man of integrity. He means what he says, and he says what he means. When he says he's going to do something, he does it. He shows up for his people, the people he loves, and his family. He's a provider of financial means, a provider on spiritual, mental, physical, all of it. He provides that nurturing container. He is the containing force that we are able to have a stable foundation with. But truly, the divine masculine essence is there to help lead the situation. And let's talk about leading. A lot of people think when I say let the man lead, that I'm doing the woman disservice, and that she's just, now she has no power, and that, she's just in a terrible situation. Let me explain. So when we say let the man lead, I'm telling you this so you can be able to understand first and foremost this man's intentions. Because when you let a man lead, you're able to see clearly who this man is. But when you get involved in a situation where you are leading the relationship, what does that look like? You are the person who is asking for commitment. Like, when are you gonna, ask me out? When are you gonna propose? When are you gonna do this? When are you gonna take me out? When are you gonna do X, Y, and Z? You're in that energy, right? When you're like, when are we gonna go here? When are we gonna do? When you're in that leading energy, you're not giving that person the opportunity to reveal to you his truest intentions, because actions will always speak louder than words. But when you never let a man do action and step into the natural masculine energy, which is action, you are not going to know what his true intentions are. So you're not going to have that opportunity to be able to vet clearly to know if this is a person you want to be in a relationship with or not. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when you let somebody tell you, okay, so when you don't push it and you fall back and you let him lead you where it needs to be led, you can see, okay, how serious is this guy about me? And instead of going into the dating scenario with this underlying energy of this man that I'm dating has to be the one, this man that I'm dating has to be my boyfriend, has to be my man, this is it. If it's not him, something's lost. Instead of giving it that energy, because that's what you're doing when you're trying to force a relationship and trying to force an outcome, you got to let it go, sit back, detach, and understand and trust first and foremost that the creator, that God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, has your back and is going to bring love into your life, at the perfect divine time. So you don't have to worry about if this guy you're dating today is the man of your dreams and is going to be your forever man. You accept that it may be, it may not. You're not attached to the outcome, but you're letting the situation be led in the way that it needs to. And that man, when he decides to step into his masculine energy and says, look, I want to take you on a date. Look, I want to go here with you. Meet me here at 3:00. Is that okay with you? I want to be able to do this. I want to be able to do that. That is you seeing his intentions. That is you seeing how serious he is about you. That is you seeing, and if he doesn't show up and if he doesn't pursue you, he's not interested, which is a great thing. You want to know that from the jump instead of you always wondering why you had to be in the pursuing situation where you're pursuing this relationship, pursuing this man, and then you wonder why 5 months into the relationship, he's out here cheating and doing X, Y, and Z because he never let it. If you let the man leave the situation, you are allowing him to basically step into that pursuing role, naturally stepping into his masculine. And when a man is naturally in his masculine and he's pursuing you, he is always going to be in that energy of wanting to impress you, wanting to do right by you, wanting to serve you. But if you are serving him and constantly trying to pursue him, he's going to fall back and you're never going to actually be in a relationship with him. Stop thinking so limited and thinking that this guy needs to be the man of your dreams. He might not be, he might be. You will know if he does something about it. You will know because a masculine man is going to do something about it. If he likes you, you're not going to have to wonder like, does he like me? Does he want to be in a relationship with me? He will tell you, he will show up. Actions will speak louder than words. It's almost like do you guys know what a carriage is? So it's like you have a carriage, right? And there's a person in the front driving that carriage. There is a horse in the front, driving that carriage, whatever the case is. And the guy is like, he's chilling in the front of the carriage. And then you have the carriage in the back where these beautiful women are sitting in that carriage. So instead of you having to do all the work and you're trying to make something happen and trying to manifest it so hard and you're trying to do everything to impress this guy, to prove to him that you're the one for him. You're trying to cook, you're trying to clean, you're trying to show, you're showing him a resume. Like, look at this. I got all these qualifications. Instead of that, you just show up naturally in your divine feminine energy. Okay. And naturally, when you're in your divine feminine energy, he has no choice really but to kind of fall for you in a sense. And then he's naturally leading and guiding you directly to where you want to go. And you don't got to sweat. You're just enjoying the situation and going with the flow. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? But when you are kind of trying to direct everything, trying to control everything, you're not in that situation of enjoyment and receiving. You got to allow yourself to be a queen. Allow yourself to be a queen and let other people do the heavy lifting. This is an example, another example. And you can kind of see, would you rather, I had this experience when I was in Mexico. And, we're trying to plan our trip and we're trying to get all these details and we're trying to book, our itinerary and we're trying to, make everything come at the same time and have a schedule and we're trying to figure everything out. Okay. But instead of that, right? Imagine if you had a person show up and be like, no, actually, I already have everything done for you. I know you so well. I understand you. So I already booked your appointment. I already booked your massage. I already booked your restaurant. I already booked this. I already did that. All you have to do is sit back, relax, and enjoy it, baby. I got you. That is what happens when you are letting a man lead. What you're doing is you're in that position of relaxation. You're in that position of enjoyment. You're in that position of pleasure. You don't have to worry about where this thing is going, how it's going to work, what's going to happen, and how it's going to happen. You are just enjoying the process. And you're trusting that you chose correctly, that you chose a good man So you don't have to worry about this man abusing you and controlling and manipulating you. Why are you associating masculine energy with manipulation and control? Is that what you continue? Is that what you want in your life? I know a lot of us were hurt and a lot of us went through toxic situations, but if you want to break the pattern of attracting negative relationships where you're not fulfilled, where you were with toxic people, where you might have been with abusive people, you have to start changing and healing from that. And to not expect every single man to be negative, to not accept that masculinity is a negative thing. Masculinity allows you to relax. Masculinity is the type of thing where you can chill, relax, enjoy your life, and just be receptive. And literally, the men in your life or the masculine energy in your life are doing the thing for you. You are a queen. No one is taking away from you when you're being led. There's a difference between covert power, right? Covert power and overt power. And another way of viewing this is the feminine principle is the influence. And when we are talking about influence, we're talking about that energy of being able to infiltrate the intention of the situation. Feminine energy is the subtle power, but it is the most powerful power that it is, because honestly, truly, and some people are not going to agree with this, especially men, they're not going to want to admit this, but a lot of the reason for why men do the things that they do is so that they can impress women. And if you look into our evolutionary history, it was always women who selected men and not men who selected women. And what do I mean by that? Women knew what they wanted and knew what they wanted in a man, right? And then the men would come to them and say, look, I got this house, I got this food, I got this nest, I got all this stuff, I'm like this. And then the women chose. But what happened is now women started not being selective. Us as women started to be not selective. We started having children, having babies with anyone before they proved to themselves or proved to us that they were worthy. So now as a collective, there's no standard anymore. So now men don't have to show up. Men don't have to be, loyal. Men don't have to be committed. Men don't have to provide. Men don't have to do X, Y, and Z, because now there's women out here who are willing to accept any and everything. They have no standard. But you see, even in nature, even on our evolutionary history, we always were the ones that chose. And the power of decision, the power of choice, and the power, that's the influence. That is the influence. That means men will do anything. The masculine wants to do anything to impress us, because truly, if we're being honest, masculine energy loves to pursue. Masculine energy loves to pursue. It loves the chase. If it's too easy, it doesn't want it. Why do men spend all day long playing video games? If the game was easy, they would not play it. Thank you thank you, Butterfly Purple Silver. Thank you so much. But do you understand what I'm saying? Masculine energy is always constantly looking for a challenge. But if we never give them a challenge and we say we're accepting toxicity, we are going to stay in relationships where we're not being treated like goddesses and queens. We're going to stay in relationships that just drain us. We're going to stay in relationships where we're not being treated right. Now, they don't got to show up. Men don't have to do anything now. I know women, and this is somebody personal in my life, where she had this thing of she wanted so badly for her man to take her out on a date. She wanted so badly for her man to take her out on a date and to just do something special for her. But when she actually thought about her entire relationship, she spent the majority of that relationship from the beginning planning. She planned things. She told him that we need to go here and let's go here and let's do this and let's do that. And that's how she was at the basis of the relationship. And then naturally, that's her in her masculine energy. But secretly, she craves him showing up and doing that for her. And for her to not have to push him to do it, he naturally will. But if you're doing all the work for him, you're leading the situation, why would he ever randomly decide to be like, well, let me just get up one day and treat her nicely? You're not training him to do that. We're as a collective of women, we have trained men to be lazy. We have trained men to be lazy. We have trained men to not show up. You have to start seeing men as fully capable. When a man is in his masculine energy, a man literally knows what to freaking do. You don't have to be like, you obviously want to let him know what you like and what you're interested in, what your passions are, and X, Y, and Z. But you don't have to spell it out and be like, take me here, do that. All right, you got to do this. You got to make sure you do that. Did you call them yet? You are treating this man like a baby. You are treating this grown man like a baby, and we wonder why men act like boys. Okay? Like we wonder why men are acting like there's actual studies now that are showing that men produce more estrogen than they've ever had before. You see this classic thing where a lot of men have social anxiety because they're afraid of being rejected, right? But they have social anxiety where they're afraid of going up to women and talking to women, right? There is this thing where we're putting men in this place where they're losing their masculinity, because if they step in their masculinity, then, oh my God, masculinity is toxic. But then when they don't step in their masculinity, why are you not showing up? Why are you not taking me out on dates? Why are you not asking for commitment? Why is this not happening? What do you actually want? Here's another one. A lot of women want to be taken care of. They want to feel taken care of in a relationship. A lot of women actually secretly don't feel comfortable with the 50-50 situation. A lot of women actually just want to be provided for, right? A lot of women actually just want to be provided for. But then they don't know how to receive. So you want a man to give to you, but then you don't know how to receive. You want a man to give to you, but you don't know how to receive it. You want a man to give to you, but then you don't want to feel weak. You want a man to give to you, but then you don't want to allow him to manipulate you. Because you're associating receiving a man's help, support, love, gifts, providing energy with abuse. Because there's a lot of fear around receiving from men. You can't say to yourself, I want a man to give to me. I want a man to provide for me. I want a man to show up. I want him to do this and that. But when he tries, you flee. Or when he tries, you're like, no, I got it. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. I got it. I can do it. I can lift it. No. You don't have to worry. I got it. I got it. You got to make up your mind. And honestly, You have to start changing your beliefs around on the subconscious level of what it means to receive. Because if you have all these negative associations with a man providing for you, if a man's providing for me, that means that I have to be broke and not have any money. No. No. It for somebody to give to you, you don't have to be poor. For somebody to give to you, you don't have to be in a messed up situation. For somebody to give to you, you don't always have to be in a terrible situation where you're just weak. And what if somebody giving to you just means, hey, I love you, I support you, and I'm here for you. I want to give to you. I appreciate you. So just please take this gift. What if this doesn't mean I'm trying to control you? I'm trying to manipulate you. I'm trying to open you up so that I can leave you and abuse you. What if we let that go? And then we just accepted that not every man is out here trying to be evil and to manipulate us. You don't have, and that's one thing too, where women are like, I don't want to ever receive anything from a man because I don't want to be dependent on a man. No one is telling you to be dependent. No one is telling you to not have any money in your bank account, right? No one is telling you not to have any money in your bank account and for you to be broke and for you to just be in a terrible situation. Do you know who I am? Like, I'm never going to be that person. Like, I'm never going to tell you that. I'm always going to tell you, always have your own money, always have your own security. Always have your own money, always have your own security. That's important for you to even feel safe, because a lot of people want to build wealth, but if you're in a state of struggle, right? So if you're struggling to pay your bills, if you're struggling to be able to get to that next level where you can even think straight because all the problems are stacking up and you're literally in survival mode, you're never going to be open enough to even tap into your feminine energy because you're constantly worried. The feminine principle is about relaxing, breathing, living in your pleasure state. But if you're worried and stuck in survival, you're never going to have time to access your pleasure. So I will always tell a woman, always have some level of money and financial security for yourself, because that puts you in a position where, one, you don't have to worry. Two, you never have to worry about being in a situation where you have to do anything that you don't want to do to be able to get money, and you got to talk to men you don't want to talk to be able to make money and to be you don't got, when you have a certain level of security, you get to a place where that honestly doesn't matter as much, because now you are able to choose really good, healthy men all around. Like, you're not going to just go for the man with money that also cheats on you every single day, that also has 5 million different other girlfriends or wives, and, you know, is weird. Like, you're not going to have to deal with that, because this man is my only source. This man is my only source of support in this world. You're not going to have to deal with that if you have your own money. Do you understand? But once you have a certain level of security, now you're able to get back into selectivity, where now we can go back to selecting men who are healthy. Now we can get back to this place where we can select partners who meet our standards. Very realistic, normal standards. Like I said before, men who are loyal. Men who are loyal, men who show up, men who mean what they say and say what they mean. When they say they're going to do something, they do it. Men who are supportive and protective over you in a healthy way. Men who are always there for you and still there for their own purpose. Men who are striving to either be financially stable or they're already in a place where they're financially stable. These things, like practical things, are also important. Do you understand what I mean? Like when all the struggle is out the window and we don't have to think from this place of lack and limitation, we understand that the universe is going to bring us our love and our soulmate. We understand and have faith that we are protected. We understand that if all this negative stuff, if a negative man showed up to us, the part of us that used to deal with that in the past no longer is going to deal with that, because now we know our worth. We've already done the inner work on ourselves. And if you do the inner work, you're not even going to be attracted or attractive to the wrong type of guys anymore. Do you understand that when you do the inner work, where you change your beliefs around about what relationships actually are, when you understand and heal through your past relationships and do the work to let go, now you don't have to deal with toxic, messed up relationships anymore. But most people have an addiction, a fascination with toxicity. Most people on a subconscious level are turned on by toxicity. Most people are obsessed with it. They need it. They love it because they don't know anything else. One time when I was in Los Angeles and I was sitting and there was these writers. There was these writers of this TV show, and it was a very popular TV show, but I forgot what it was. And I remember sitting there hearing them talk and listening to them. And one of the things that they said, well, that this guy was saying, his friend was like, oh, how is your wife? Like, how is your, I guess they were in a new marriage. Like, how is your wife and how is your relationship like that? How has it been since the wedding? And the guy, he took a moment and he breathed and he's like, she's vegetables in a world with a lot of candy. It's new for me and I'm learning how to be good with it. But I know that she's the one and she's right for me. Most people love candy. You love sugar. Sugar tastes really freaking good. You love it. You can eat it all day and it's addicting because it gives you that rush. It gives you that excitement. It gives you that good feeling, but then there's always a crash. Vegetables heal you. Vegetables are good for you. Vegetables are the things that actually nourish you, your soul, and your body. But most people don't like vegetables. Most people have a fascination with candy, with alcohol, with things that are inherently not good for us, but are good in the moment, that make us feel really freaking good in the moment. But when we sit back and see if this thing is really good for our spirit, the answer is always no. But we're so out of alignment with ourselves that we no longer hear our own truth. You've been so weighed down by this toxicity and so used to this toxicity that you forget your own inner truth and voice that knows that they want more and deserve more and that this thing is no longer good for them. So choose vegetables. Choose vegetables and decide that you only from this moment forward are going to be with healthy, masculine men. Decide with your whole body and being. From this day forward, I will only be with healthy, masculine men. And do the inner work that is stopping you from believing that healthy, masculine men exist. Do you understand? Like, comment some fire emojis if you feel me. decide that from this day forward, I will only attract healthy, masculine men in my life. That is all I will attract. I will only attract healthy relationships in my life. I will only attract healthy people in my life. I will only attract wealth in my life. I will only attract money in good ways in my life. So if you make that decision now, you don't have to worry about opening up your field. You don't have to worry and struggle like, can I trust him? Can I do this? Can I do that? Because if you have all this fear and you don't trust that the universe is going to protect you, and you don't trust yourself to know your worth enough to walk away the moment somebody starts showing you that ill shit, sorry, you're never going to be able to experience what you're looking for. You got to decide. And you're going to be tested. Once you make that decision, you are going to be freaking tested. I'll tell you what, I had that test. I had that test this year. If you know anything about me and my story, I haven't had the best luck when it came to relationships. When it came to relationship, when I was growing up, I would be with guys who would cheat on me. I would be with guys who didn't treat me nicely. I would be with guys who were just not it. They never fulfilled me. They never satisfied my needs. I would be with guys who were broke and not trying to do anything about it. They wouldn't do anything special for me. They wouldn't try to take me on dates. They wouldn't try to show up. They weren't creative. They had nothing going for themselves. I would be with men who would just not value me. They would talk to me crazy, talk to me all kind of ways. And I never talked about this, but I even was in an abusive physical relationship at a point. I used to be in situations like that until I got to a point where I was fed up and I was like, I'm not a victim. I no longer am a victim. I will no longer accept any of this in my life, because I had to look in the mirror, and I know this is controversial to say, but I had to look in the mirror and say, what is it about me that is an energetic match to toxicity? What is it about me that is an energetic match to this toxicity? Because you will only always attract your reciprocal. And if you never look in the mirror and you always constantly blame other people and you see yourself as a victim, you will stay a victim. I was in that position because I did not know I could have more. I did not think that I deserved better. I did not understand that I was worthy. But when I started to understand that I was worthy, when a guy even showed signs and symptoms of anything like that, I immediately got disgusted. I was disgusted by toxic. I got to a place where I was disgusted with abuse, disgusted with toxicity, disgusted with unloyalness. It didn't excite me anymore. It didn't make me feel, I just was like, disgusting. I don't want to deal with this. Thank you so much, Andrea. Thank you so much, baby, with the pesos. Nah, but you have to get to a place where you are absolutely disgusted with toxicity, that you would never allow that ish in your life again. And no, people are not perfect. No, relationships will not be perfect, but there is a certain standard that you got to start having for yourself. A lot of people romanticize toxicity. Oh, I love, if the relationship isn't toxic, then I don't want it. What is wrong with you? You're literally abusing yourself. Anything in nature, as soon as something in nature feels like it's being threatened, it naturally starts to try to protect itself. So when you're in a position where now you find yourself only being attracted to abuse, only being attracted to toxicity, only being attracted to lies, something is not healthy within you. Something is not healthy within you. It's not just them, it's also you. And that goes for money, that goes for relationships, that goes with everything. A lot of people are totally comfortable and okay with being broke. Because if they truly were to do with the inner work, they would realize that they are not comfortable with being rich. Because they believe that rich people are bad, rich people are evil. When you're rich, that means you're more people, you're in danger because people know you got wealth, so they're gonna try to rob you and stuff like that. When you're rich, that means you got to do a bunch of shady, dirty stuff to get there. And I don't want to be like that. No. So that person will always be comfortable with being poor because they believe that being rich means something that is not in alignment with them. Change your beliefs. I sound angry because I'm a fiery person, and this is how I express myself when I'm passionate. I'm not angry, I'm passionate, and I'm frustrated because I know there are many women out there like me who find themselves in situations where they don't feel like they're receiving what they need to be receiving, where they don't feel like they're properly being nurtured and loved in their relationship, where they're not in relationships with men who actually show up. So I want to get to a place where I get these messages out there so I can wake that person up to let them know, babe, you deserve better. And you don't have to deserve and have this toxicity in your life anymore. And that's something else I don't like either. I've been getting a lot of people recently judging me for the way that I show up and how I express myself. They'll say things to me like, Jalen, you're not feminine. You're a feminine energy channel and everything like that, but you're expressing yourself like this. Guess what? This is my authentic self. This is my authentic self. And I got people that will say things, well, I'm like this, so I need you to be able to talk about this thing, and you don't talk about this situation. So can you do that, or else I'm not going to watch your channel? Oh, you got to stop yelling. You got to stop expressing yourself in the way that naturally you express yourself, because that's not feminine. I'm going to stop watching this channel. Stop watching my channel. I don't have to change myself to fit into what you think I should be. Because if I water myself down, I'm not going to be able to let my people know and hear me, because you guys are not going to hear my messages anymore. The people that resonate with me are not going to hear me loud and clear if I change my way of being for you. I cannot serve everybody, and I'm not for everyone. I don't know what made you think that I am for everyone. I'm not. I am not for everyone. I am for whoever I am for. Like, leave me alone, man. Like imagine if I really sat around and with every person that comments on my videos every day that says I should be like this and I should do this, if I chipped away at myself, I would not be unrecognizable. If I chipped myself away every time somebody said I was not good enough, I would no longer be myself. I would be unrecognizable. I'd look in the mirror and not know who I am. And that's why a lot of you guys lose yourself, because you focused on trying to impress a bunch of people. You try to focus on impressing a bunch of people and then wonder why you impress this person, you please this person, you do this for that person, and why when you look down at yourself, you don't know who you are anymore. You no longer have any energy for you. Feminine energy is about knowing your worth. Feminine energy is about authenticity. It's not about how you talk and how you speak. It's about who you are when you are the most relaxed and in your pleasure and in just your body. It's how you naturally express. That's feminine energy. But when you try to squeeze yourself into this picture perfect image of what a woman should be, if you try to make yourself something that you're not, that's not femininity. That's control. That's masculine energy. That's masculine energy from a toxic level. That's structure. Feminine energy is freedom. Feminine energy is freedom. Feminine energy is doing as you please, when you please. And if it's, like I said, there is certain things that you can change with yourself if that's what you want to do. I'm not saying that it's, the basic feminine things are bad, like dressing a certain way, talking a certain way, whatever the case is, being classy. I'm not saying that those things are not important, guys. I mean, look at me. I got makeup on. I love doing my hair. I love wearing like cute dresses and stuff like that. But that's not it. It's also about doing inner work. Feminine energy and the feminine principle and the feminine way of being is about going within. A lot of you guys like to solve all your problems from the outside. You're always asking this person what to do. You're always going to this place looking for the answer instead of asking yourself, going within. Going back and having your connection with spirit, with source. That is the feminine principle. Being in tune with your intuition. That's the feminine principle. That was our gift. That's the feminine art. Creativity, being able to tap into your genius mind, being able to see things from different perspectives, the abstract way of viewing the world, having your own thoughts and opinions, being able to express yourself in your authenticity because you flow. That's feminine energy. And there's also such a thing as feminine fire. The Kundalini energy that people always talk about, that's feminine fire. That energy that rushes up your spine, that's feminine energy. It's wild, it's untamed, it's uncontrollable. But yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm a fire being. I am a fire freaking being. Mercury in Leo, Venus in Leo, Sun in Leo, Sag rising. But my moon is in Taurus. But my Mars is in Cancer. And I'm a Jupiter in Pisces generation. Balance, baby, balance. And also, speaking of the topic at hand, when y'all don't, there's a difference between how I talk to women and how I talk to men. Oh, yeah. There's a difference between how I talk to women and how I talk to men. I don't talk to men like how I talk to women. When I'm on camera and when I'm, doing this and I'm expressing myself, this is very much so me in my more masculine energy. But if I'm talking to a man, especially a man I'm attracted to, it's not the same. I don't talk, and not like I'm hiding myself or anything like that. It's just a different way that comes out. It's a little bit different. Like, okay. Like it's a little bit more laughy and flirtatious. I'm like, oh. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's differences. But like what the main point of this video is, there's soft power and there's obvious hard power. The feminine principle is the soft power. Thank you so much, Jamaica. Hey. Thank you, baby. No, but like there's soft power and then there's hard power. Soft power is influence. Hard power does the hard work. Okay? Just like there's a conscious mind and a subconscious mind. Just like if you've taken any of my courses, I talk about this. Just like there's dark energy, right? And the dark energy and matter that makes up majority of this universe, and the rest of it is only what we can see with our physical eyes, 5%, but the other 95% is dark matter and dark energy, the thing that literally controls this entire universe, but we can't see it. It's the mysterious. It's the thing that we want but can't quite grasp. It's the part of us that craves certain things, but we don't know why. It's the part of us that will do something crazy, and when we look back, we're like, why did we even do that? That's the subconscious. The subconscious is the feminine principle. And if you hear anything from anyone, what they'll always say, successful people always say, success has a lot more to do with mindset than even strategy. I would argue if you don't get your belief right around money or around success, around love, it doesn't matter how much you go outside, how much you change your appearance, how much you get like your BBL, how much you do all this stuff. If you don't go within, your results are still not going to ever satisfy you because you're not in that receptive point to receive the thing. These are the women who will do everything in their power to wear the makeup, to wear the dress, and to do all this stuff, to get the surgery, to work out every day, to wear clothes where they're snatching their waist in and it can barely breathe. But then they wonder why the quality of men never changes, because they never really changed. I think I'm going to make a whole video about that. They never really changed. Not saying that these things are negative and that like doing these outside things are negative, but you can't BBL your energy. You can't Botox your energy. You can't put a facial on your energy. You can't put makeup on your energy. You know, I can look freaking crazy and go outside and still, for some reason, men are still opening doors for me. Men are still saying I'm gorgeous and beautiful and pretty, even when I look freaking crazy, because I have my energy right and together. When you get your energy right, it like triumphs it all. And then the other stuff is just the icing on the cake. But get your cake right first. Get your foundation right first. Like, guys, it really is not that hard. Like, it really is not that hard. Once you make the decision that you deserve the best of the best, and not coming from this place of like ego, but coming from this place of just naturally, if you are a grateful person, if you have compassion, if you have gratitude, if you are a genuine, nice person, you've done the healing work on yourself, you're not living from the past and like projecting all your issues onto every guy that comes in your life. You're literally just enjoying yourself. You know who you are for the most part. You love who you are for the most part. You show up in front of a guy like that. His natural instinct, if he is also pretty much healthy within himself, his natural instinct is going to be, oh my God, what can I do for you? Oh my God, what can I give to you? Oh my God, like I want to make sure you're good. I want to make sure you're okay. And if you don't make that decision that you deserve the best and you continue to go for the unhealthy, oh my gosh, I don't know if he likes me. I don't know if he does. Oh my goodness. He doesn't make me feel secure. Oh my God, I'm so wet. I'm so turned on. Like if you go for those guys, they're gonna give you breadcrumbs. They're gonna give you sprinkles of good stuff, and then the rest of it is bad. I'm gonna give you a little bit of good stuff just to keep you hooked, and I'm gonna show up just for this moment, just to keep you hooked, but I'm not gonna call you for weeks. And then through those whole weeks, you're gonna be thinking about them, like, oh my God, where's this person? I want more breadcrumbs. Why are you used to breadcrumbs? Why are you okay with breadcrumbs? Why are you okay with breadcrumbs? Stop being okay with breadcrumbs. You got to get to the point where when a guy is giving you breadcrumbs, you're just like, no thanks. Where you can fully walk away. Where you can fully walk away from breadcrumbs. When you get to the place where you can fully walk away from breadcrumbs and you can fully walk away from toxicity, you're not going to get any more of that stuff. Like they literally will not, you're not going to get any more of it. Like you're not, because you're not going to deal with it any longer. So they have no choice but to give you better and to give you more, or they're not, and they're going to walk away and leave you alone. Great. Fantastic. Good riddance. A lot of y'all want to hold on so tight to breadcrumbs, so tight to Toxicity. Why? 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 When you can have the entire world, why choose breadcrumbs when you can have the whole cake? You think breadcrumbs are exciting? How about a guy that actually loves you, cares for you, and shows the freak up? Like, a lot of y'all think there's like an underlying belief that relationships have to be boring, and that after a while they get boring and they get bad and all this stuff, and it's all toxic, it's all bad. What the frick do you think you're about to get if that's your belief? What do you think you're about to get if you think, oh, after a while relationships always get boring, and I don't like healthy men because they're just da da da? What do you think you're going to get? You're going to get exactly what you believe to be true. Because most people do not understand how to tap into their feminine, right? They don't understand how to tap into their feminine, because when you understand how to tap into your feminine, you end up getting in relationships where the man is always constantly pursuing you. And pursuing doesn't mean like almost like in the beginning of your relationship where he's like, you're getting to know someone. It's not like that, but he's always going to still be impressing you. There's still going to be romance. There's still going to be chemistry. There's still going to be that energy because you have polarity. But when you don't have polarity, and when you're chasing, and when you're not in your feminine, there's no pleasure, there's no excitement, there's no animation, there's no expressing yourself, there's no fire, and you're not connected to that part of yourself. You're not doing the inner work. You're not going deep within yourself. So how are you going to go deep within a relationship? You can't wonder why you have negative results. It's time to do the inner work. Exactly. People living in scarcity, but I want the whole loaf. Period. He said, bae, I got you. Got all the types of bread. Exactly. Do you like the first time, like when I got through my, phase of dating, the toxic men and the breadcrumb men, I got to a point where I made that decision. And like I said, when you make this decision that you only are going to be available for healthy men, and we already talked about those characteristics. And if you don't know those characteristics, take my course, Goddess of Worth. Take my course, Goddess of Worth, even Psychic Secrets of Seduction. Those are both great courses to do this work. I'll link it below. However, when I first made that decision, I got tested. Okay, like the first time I made that decision, there was this guy where, I made the decision. I was like, yeah, this is it. So I attracted this guy in my life who was, oh my God, he was just amazing, right? He had a beautiful personality. He was so flirtatious. He had all the right things to say. He was witty. He was clever. He had a lot of money, and he was not afraid to spend it, child. Like, he was secure. He was inspirational. He always offered to help me with things and gave me lots of resources. He always showed up in like this authentic kind of way, right? And he was just a lovely person. Yeah, he was great, but he was married. He told me one time that he was married. And I was like, I can either go down this path of this, oh my God, being treated like a goddess, but not really, because I'm still getting breadcrumbs, because I'm still not receiving the full thing. But I can be treated going on these 5-10-star vacations and going to Dubai and going to all these places and all this stuff, but I'm not in my integrity, and it could be drama. I could go down that path, or I could say, no, I want the full thing. No, thanks. You got to hang up the phone on toxicity. You got to hang up the phone on toxicity. And I've been tested like that a lot of times. But I got to this place now, like, okay, the type of men that I date now, fantastic, fantastic, at all levels. The first time I really understood, like, okay, this is what masculine men are like. It's amazing. It is truly freaking amazing. Like, I remember one time I saw this guy, and he was cool and everything. I'm not gonna say how he met, because there's this guy. And he was super cute, super attractive. He has this amazing career. I love the way he speaks. He's very motivational. He can command the room. He's just powerful. And then when I got to know him, we had these beautiful conversations, and we'd have deep talks and all this stuff. And then when we first met, he's whining and dining me. He's taking me on beautiful dates. Everywhere we're walking, he makes sure that I'm on the right side of the road, that I'm not near the street. He's like, oh no, come on this side. If I have any issue at all, he's like, are you sure that's okay? If we go out to eat and something is not 100% right, he's like, do you want something else? Like, you deserve the absolute best. Like, do you want something else? He's constantly checking in on me, making sure I'm good, making sure I'm okay, but at the same time, still focused on him and his purpose and doing what he needs to do. Because if he's not doing what he needs to do, he's not going to be able to help anyone else. He's kind, authentic, all this stuff. And that's the type of bet I started dating and attracting. Once I said no to toxicity and no to the passion and excitement, and said yes to health and people showing up in normal, like, healthy situations. And you let them lead. You let the men lead. You let the men lead, and you let them tell you, oh, I want to see you. Oh, I want to talk to you. Oh, I want to hit you up. Oh, we should go here. We should do this. If you let him do it, he'll love it. When a man is in his masculine energy and you let him pursue you, he loves it, especially if he's actually into you. He loves it. It makes them happy to make you happy. As long as you're a woman of actual, genuine, like, you have gratitude. You don't take things for granted. You show up with a kind heart. You look beautiful, and you have a good conversation. It's not that hard, y'all. And then you have healthy men, and you only accept healthy men into your life. Men will want to do everything for you. Men will want to do everything for you. And then I guarantee you, a lot of you guys will love not having to chase men and having to double, triple, quadruple text him. And it's like you get to this point where you're no longer obsessing over a man. It's like you are into him and you like him, but you're not losing yourself, because you still have a full life. Because you still have a full life, and your needs are being met within yourself. You've healed, you've let all the stuff go. You can show up authentically and just be your best self, and men love it. Like, men, if they're being honest, they will always be attracted to purely feminine energy and just feminine energy. That's just how it works. That's just how it works. We try to overcomplicate it and be so scared of men and be so scared of masculinity. There's nothing wrong with masculinity, but there is something wrong with masculinity that is not divine, that is toxic. There's something wrong with toxic masculinity, but there's nothing wrong with pure masculinity. You need masculinity to be able to yin, yang, yin, yang, yang, yin, yin, yang. You need both. If there was no men, and like, I know people get so upset when I say this stuff, but it's like, if we did not have men, like, there's certain aspects of us in the society that just would not be okay. And we see that a lot, and we see these results of this in family dynamics. Do you understand? Like, when we actually look at a lot of our childhood wounds and stuff like that, especially in the Black community, we see a lot of fathers they're missing in the household. And then we see the negative ramifications of that in people growing up with daddy issues, people growing up not knowing their worth, people growing up not having boundaries, not having standards. We see this where we have to feel like we have to cling so deeply to our masculinity, and we have to be stuck in our masculinity because we feel like we're not protected and not safe. But if we had that presence, we would feel that, and there would be no need to have to overdo our masculine energy. But a lot of us don't feel safe. A lot of us feel triggered. A lot of us have been hurt, but we have not healed. But when you start associating yourself and opening up to healthy masculine energy, you will attract healthy masculine friends. You will attract healthy masculine romantic partners. You will attract healthy masculine figures in your life. Even just the old man down the street that got a lot of wisdom. Like, you will start attracting healthy masculine men, and now your feminine energy can be supported. So yes, let the man open the door for you if he wants to. Let the man do, as long as he has shown you with his actions that he is healthy and okay, let the dude do it and just enjoy the process. Stop trying to be so focused on the outcome. Let it unfold. When you get used to letting things unfold and going with the flow and not trying to force an outcome, not only does it make you 10, 20, 30 times more attractive to men, and they're gonna want to impress you and do everything for you to get with you, but you're also not gonna be stressed out. You're also not gonna be stressed out because you are chill, you're relaxed, you're chilling. It's okay. Okay? It's okay. But this is something that we have to learn. This is something that we have to learn as women. Allow yourself to be protected. Check out these 2 courses. Check out these 2 courses. I'm about to drop it. I'm trying to tell you guys, when you do the inner work, you always hear me say all the time, everything in front of you is the current representation of your vibration. Everything in front of you is the representation of your vibration. So if you change your vibration, you will change what it is you experience in your life. But if you don't change your vibration and you continue to stay the same inside, you will continue to have the same results in your life. Change your vibration. I know the inner work isn't sexy, inner work and working on yourself isn't the sexiest thing, right? But when you do it, it's the actual thing that changes stuff. It's the stuff that seems so simple, and so just like, oh, that's the stuff that actually changes your life. Everything doesn't have to be so complicated. Stop trying to complicate situations. Stop trying to complicate. When you're stuck in complication, it got to be complicated. It got to be hard. You're stuck in too much like unhealthy masculine energy. But when you accept ease and flow into your life and say that my healing journey can be easy and effortless for me, my love life can actually go my way, money can start flowing into my bank account easily, I get to live a gorgeous, luscious life, you know what you want and you don't focus solely on what you don't want, and you actually honor and own and tap into what you want, you start to attract more of those things into your life. Do you understand? Do the inner work. I just linked these courses down below, or not down below. I'm not even used to live. Thank you, Green Vibes Wellness. Her courses are so worth it. Thank you. Oh, yeah, guys. And if you guys are students of my coursework and stuff like that, I am going live in literally an hour in there. And tonight we are going to be talking about the secrets of magnetism. And it's going to get very juicy. We're going to dive deep. It's going to be very juicy. I'm not going to be able to say it all on YouTube. Nah, we're gonna talk about some things on there. And obviously, if you guys have, questions, I'm gonna be able to answer your questions live. So instead of you guys having to, wait for me to do it in a video, you can literally talk to me on that live Q&A, and I can get right into your situation. You could tell me anything. And yes, this is going to be for people who are in any of my courses for this live in particular. Moving forward, I'm going to be going live for just each and every one of my courses and everything. And I'm also about to be creating a course for women specifically who find themselves stuck in unhealthy, toxic situations. So if you find yourself in unhealthy relationships, if you find yourself in toxic relationships, or just relationships where you're not satisfied, where you're like, this guy is just not, something is just not right. I'm going to do a live course on that. So almost like a live group coaching call and course. And we're going to meet with each other every week. And we're going to get ourselves out of those relationships, changing those beliefs so that you can get to this place where now you can have a really nice dating life and you can date correctly as a woman. And then you get to a place where ultimately you attract your soulmate, you attract your love, and you figure out what really, truly you do want so that you're in alignment with that, right? So that's going to be a course that's coming up soon. I haven't dropped that yet, but expect that to come up and the sign up to come up for that soon. But for any of my students that are in it, like any of my classes and courses now, I am going live for you guys tonight and doing that special Q&A. If you did not sign up for the notifications, I'm not sure if you got the link. So I'm going to also put this in the description, in this comments right now, goddesscourseinfo@gmail.com. If you are a student, don't lie. Don't email my team and lie, because we're going to check. But if you are a student and you did not get the link to the live today, make sure you email my team at goddesscourseinfo@gmail.com, and they will send you the link. Like I said, we're going live in 1 hour, 6 o'clock. And yes. Oh my God, thank you guys. Invest in her course. Thank you, babe. Her course, Psychic Secret Seduction, is so good. It will not be disappointed. Thank you. Thank you guys so much. And literally, I'm going live in those courses. I'm adding more content. Goddess of Worth, the one I just dropped, my inner work course. I'm adding a lot more to that course. I got some things that you guys don't even know you was about to get. So get excited for those things and everything. But definitely check out those courses now and do the work. Like, do the freaking inner work on yourself so you don't have to run into these negative situations anymore. Like I say this with so much certainty because I've seen the effects of this in real time in my life and with people I've coached and with people, that take my work and stuff like that. Like, you don't have to accept breadcrumbs. Like, you can be with healthy masculine energy and be treated like a goddess and a queen. I want you guys to know this. There's more. There's better out here. There's better out here. Okay? Oh, thank you, Addie. See ya. All right, guys. So my laptop is literally on 1%. So you can check out all my prices and stuff because all my courses differ in prices, and you can check that out. But my laptop is on 1%, so it's about to die. So literally, I'll see you guys later. I love you guys so much. All my students, I can't wait to chat with you guys in an hour. Okay, 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And I'll see you guys soon. Email my team if you have any questions and concerns. And if you want to work with me one-on-one, whatever the case is, we can work something out. All right. Peace. Yes.